Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, doing only Kharlie Brown. And once again, it's time to go around the town with me. And today I want to talk about the TV show, the HBO show. By the way, if you guys don't have HBO Max, please get it. There are enjoyable things about HBO Max. And one of those enjoyable things about HBO Max is the show Euphoria, starring Zendaya. She's the main character on the show. There's a lot of other great actors in there, especially around her age group. There are a lot of talented young actors and actresses that are on this show, and they did an amazing job with this show. The writing and almost everything that went into this show is really great. I don't have that much negative to say about the show after watching. Actually, matter of fact, I just went back and I binge watched it all the way straight through. Currently, right now, I'm not. I'm kind of just at home chilling. I'm not at work, so I just decided to go through and just binge watch the entire thing. Binge watching that show is an emotional roller coaster because you do, because of the writing, you do get pulled into a lot of the characters and stuff, and not to mention the material and what's happening on the show as well. And I'll say this, I'll just go down this road. There might be spoilers, by the way, and if there are, I apologize and I'm sorry. But if you have watched it, then you know what I'm explaining. I'm gonna try my best not to like jump and be heavy with the spoilers if I do spoil anything. And I apologize in advance. But the show basically revolves around the character Rue, which is played by Zendaya, and after she loses her father, her misuses of drugs. Now, and not just her friends as well, and one in their lives. Now, it's not just about drugs and the way it's affecting people's lives. It's everything that goes into it. Why did you take it? Do you understand? Then you get an understanding of the person and the character and why they took and why they did what they did. Because in real life, we currently have a pandemic going on right now within America when it comes to like opioids and stuff like that, and people actually getting addicted to prescription drugs and stuff, and it's something I don't think we really think about or focus on, because a lot of times people make it seem like those people who are drug addicts or whatever are horrible people. They're lazy, and they're gutter trash and all this other stuff. But it's like, well, what did they go through to mentally to want to do that? Are they? Because to me, I feel as though addiction is a problem that many people suffer through when they're broken. Something happened to where they lost a piece of themselves, and then they're turning to these drugs for a way to escape, or to find their form of euphoria. But the other characters that revolve around the character Rue and what they go through as well. There's so much more to talk about, in the show. There's 8 episodes in the first season, 8 episodes in the second season, and there's so many characters and so many storylines that are just nicely, threaded through, and it's just so much to talk about. But all right, so I'll go down this road. We'll say it like this. Okay, so recently, Dare, Dare Against Drugs, whatever. They came out and they were saying that the show is glorifying drug use, which clearly that means that they didn't watch the show. They didn't really try to watch the show. Matter of fact, I didn't even know Dare was still around. Last time I remember, Dare was around like in that late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, so that shows me that they didn't really watch the show, because it's not just that's involved. They touch base on depression. They touch base on molestation, childhood, drinking, the connection between parents and their children, not being able to like people transitioning, to find their real selves. There's a character on there where he wasn't able to be who he really is, and he had to hold it down and be a man. And that's where the whole concept of toxic masculinity, like and everything that was taught from the generation before him and the generation after them, and what it does to males, not to mention what it does to your children, period, and what it does to your family. You not being able to express yourself or say how you feel and talk about those problems. Like I don't, not one character in there like went to counseling, and that's something that I personally think that a lot of people should just do anyway. You know, go to counseling, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to discuss and talk about. Every relationship, no matter what the relationship is, you need to be able to communicate, whether it's a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend. It doesn't matter. This show shows you that you need to be able to communicate with one another, and at the same time talk about how you feel, what's going on with you. You know, so you don't go down that road like the main character Rue, who started to take certain drugs. And I said a lot because my favorite character throughout the entire thing was the character Fez, who so happened to be a drug dealer, as well as his brother, who so happened to be like what was he, like 12 maybe, like a 12-year-old kid who was helping him sell drugs. So like, you have to watch this show to really get the context of that. But also, I honestly have to applaud him for I mean, the acting is great and all, but the thing that really pulled me into the show, besides the writing, acting, stuff like that, it was the editing for the show is amazing, because they don't just have like a straight through story. They jump back and forth through time. They take you little pieces and they give it to you like little chunks. But the way they weave it into the story is like, it's not a punch in the face, you know. It's like, they're not just like, oh, well, we're gonna give you a whole episode about this past. No. They literally open up certain episodes and they tell you about a certain character, which is gonna be the key point to the story within that certain chapter. And it's really great how they do that. And the number one thing about this show that I really love is the music arrangement. And it's actually done by Labyrinth, an artist who I heard a long time ago. If you guys remember the song Earthquake with him and Tiny Tempa. Man, I always loved this artist, and the fact that he's helping arrange the music, and the main song that you have with it's called All For Us, with him and Zendaya. And Zendaya, multi-talented, you know, by the way. She but the song is great. If you haven't had a chance to like just actually listen to the song straight through, they actually have a scene at the end of the first season where they do like a little mini music video, which goes with, like, again, the editing and the way they did this, where they threaded through, they made like a little mini music video, and it tells you like what the character's going through and stuff like that, and how she's feeling and stuff, and the movement, the dancing and everything, and the way that everything is arranged is amazing. I totally applaud them for that. Now, if I had to say anything really negative about the show, the thing I would say is negative about the show is the amount of nudity. I do feel that with the amazing job they did with editing, they could have found a way to edit around a lot of the nudity in the show. I mean, it was so much nudity in this show. I'm conservative now. That's how much nudity was in this show. I mean, come on. I mean, mindset wise, these are supposed to be like teenagers, you know, 15, 16, 17 years of age. So I feel that there's certain ways it could have done it, but I'm not the director. I'm just saying, I feel there's certain ways they could have done it to make it so that we didn't need as much of the nudity and stuff that we got in there. You know, there's certain cuts I think they could have went with. Not to mention the way that this isn't anything negative, but there's the way they use colors and tones throughout there as well. It shows me that they could have went a different route than having as much nudity they did have. But I do feel that the way the show ended, let's talk about that. The way the show ended was really great, and I feel as though there's really no need to go into another season, but there are unanswered questions. But if they left it here, I would be okay with that. All except for the character Fez. I need to figure out what happened with his character. But there are little loose storylines, whatever they need to like touch base on, because the way they ended the show is like a time gap of like a year, and she says that over a year, I mean the rest of the school year, that she stayed clean. Spoiler alert. She said that she stayed clean, but they're already promoting, well, not promoting it, they're already, you can look online, they're already talking about the third season, word of mouth and stuff like that. But they already have the go ahead to do a third season. As a matter of fact, if you look on IMDb, they already got it listed, boom, third season. But at the same time, I'm hearing that the third season isn't going to be until like the beginning of like 2024. So that's like a whole year. So I guess they actually are taking a year, like a time gap, And I don't know when they're actually going to start filming the next season either. But all in all, it's a pass. I recommend this for anybody. The only negative again is the amount of nudity. But then again, you have shows like Spartacus and stuff like that came out, and other HBO shows and stuff that have nudity in it, But that's my only downside. Other than that, the acting, the storylines, and the way that each character had their moments, they did a great job focusing on characters and having everything again just fit together like little Lego pieces. It's great. As a matter of fact, I think I want to do like a character breakdown for some of the characters, and I'm gonna put some of those videos up. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, share. Comment down below and let me know how you felt about the first season separately, and how you felt about the second season. Matter of fact, how you feel about it as a whole, how you feel about the characters, the music, and everything. And please come back for more. If you can pick up what I'm putting down around the town, Kharlie Brown. That was a good show.